Good evening, friends of the Public Participation Network. It gives me great pleasure in saying hello to you. As you're aware, you elected me for the uh, Northeastern Regional Drug and Alcohol Task Forum. I have been at a meeting of reps the other day, which was the 17th. The last minute I got notice and I went. And of course, I knew some of the stalemates on it. I knew everybody well that was there, which is a good thing. So we're trying to improve basically the services, how we can do it. We spent 2 hours, all in a very good mood. Nobody rowing or arguing. We know we have a shortage of money is the biggest problem. Trying to make funds go round, so we'd have to see which is the most needy. Now, at the moment, I stress that getting people on methadone, you want to see, do you agree to this? It's a big problem because if you come off drugs, you need to have government funding that they can go on this methadone. To start in a low dosage first, because you can't overrush the system. Maybe it's 35, it goes up to 40, 45, and then possibly it may take 70, 80 and some people before it starts to work. And then when you get a satisfactory rate, you bring it down. But there's an awful lot of people, especially people on heroin, and it amazes me the amount of people in the county. Now, we know there's not 99%, but if you have 5 people in 100 even on heroin, it's serious because it causes a lot of problems. They become addicted and it's expensive. Harmful to the health and enough a nuisance when you have to wait for any addiction. The doctor gets shillings for it. Now, it can be very stressful on a family because a person on heroin could be spending in the region of €100 a day. And that'd be 6 bags of it with it sold. So this is a big problem. But what I'm saying is this, and I want people to come back to me now. I'm just going to give you 2 ideas how I feel. Am I right to say? First of all, we all may want to stop the drugs, but it can't be done overnight. If we cut up all small dealers, we'd have an awful panic. Because if people that's addicted to heroin cannot get drugs, they need treatment. So it's very important to have a treatment, such as heroin, access to, not heroin, methadone. To have access to the methadone, which at the moment, there's a waiting list. You could be 4 or 5 weeks, 6, could be longer, depending on where you are. But anybody I knew that just couldn't walk down and get on methadone and could have themselves crazy, smoking, addiction, they get into problems with crime, robbing and stealing, and it's a major problem. But what I want to get at is this: to get people off, you have to start at the top, to get the big man down, and have plenty of treatment for people that wants to go on methadone to get them off it. Now, when you get them on the methadone, it's more or less a substitute for what they're taking. So you have to balance it out, like high blood pressure tablets or something similar to that. You have to balance out what works to keep them free of this drug. So once you get that under control, you have then to start reducing it. So it needs a bit of willpower as well. So you have a choice to make whether you want to go down to an early grave or you want to live longer. So it's always advisable to stay off it. Another problem I do see, and I do feel they're going to have to debate this, to see about legalising it. Why I say legalise is to get money for the state to treat the patients. It's starved of funding. And this is the whole cry across a lot of departments. When they paid the bankers' debt, it couldn't be afforded to be done. It was not constitutional to pay such a debt, because I can send you. I had this assessed by different guys apart from myself. So if you look at Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert, There's many more you can look at. They're on YouTube. And they argued that no way was that debt to be paid. It wasn't legal to do it. It was unconstitutional. But yet, I see Michael Noonan, the man that didn't handle the thing right. He hadn't the ability to handle it right, evidently, or else he was maybe getting a bribe. I don't know. He didn't handle it right because it left all the services short. The cuts were too extravagant. And it made a lot of service. Now at the hospital, it's on its knees, people waiting on trolleys and more people coming into the country. And also, we look at the crime, increase in crime, because a lot of migrants, not all criminals now, but they can take crime with them. And they can make linkages up to get certain things in the countries. Because when they're here and they've little money, they have to survive. So if we take in people because they're, for example, migrants, or we can't do it. Cannot be done. But I would love to see it done. But just going in to a meeting and not bringing out your ideas was going to work. And because it works in some countries, they don't know how it either. But to sum up again, I'd say you don't touch the wee men dealers. It's the big dealers you have to catch. I think that they're fully aware of that anyhow. So, as well as that, you want to get people off any drug. You need to have facilities where they get them in fairly fast. Because there's such a thing as suicide. People often commit when they're in drugs. A lot of them are that way related anyhow. Not all would that commit suicide would be drugs, of course, but it is a big problem. You're every week around here now, it's getting that you know someone, and it may not be in the papers of suicide. Oh, no. So this is the problem. We need to treat people, for a humane country, a Christian country, or a humanist country, we need to treat people to get them off it, get them back in the straight line. Now, what do we need? Well, I feel, from my experience, I've been 9 years with a couple of years off the task force and studying it, and I lived in Scotland when I was studying, and I've seen a very bad drug scene there, a very bad situation. Smelling stuff everywhere. So, how do you get off it? Well, there's two things you're going to say. You need to have treatment for those that you want to get off when they want to get off, and you need education to stop the inflow of new people coming in. Because if people's on it, it's a big problem. So there's two things you need, very important, if you want to get them off it. Well, then crime. If you stop them at petty crime, it's good to not stop at just one thing. So it's to get people off the methadone and to get the harm reduction, all this type of thing will come in the course if you're not too late. But you must get them off the blasted drug and to get them eating and appetites right instead of just living for the whole day spent looking for stuff. So once that is accomplished, you have to have treatment for the government. Now you're going to say, right, where does the money come from? Yeah. Well, I do feel you're going to have to legalise it. It's one way it could be got. Tax it. People might go for the safer drug, because anything in the drug mixtures you get when there's no standards, just get money. And when you have your money, you can't take a bloke to court for selling your illegal drugs, can you? So therefore, initially, we need to have more money for treating the people, whether it's methadone or whatever, needle exchange, whatever. We have to get it down, but we need more education, more responsibility in the people. But sadly, the state have eroded the family with legislation now. The people can no longer, like in my day, say to the children, especially if they're over 16, 17, you're not taking drugs. And maybe some of the parents are taking themselves. Because it's not just school children or 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. There's a lot of people sniffing and barting with. There's people of 60 taking drugs in this area. And that's similar everywhere. It's more so, I'd agree, in the younger population, but it's very, very harmful. And they're putting themselves at risk. So I hits back again too. We do need to have more access to methadone, and we also need to have maybe some more GPs. It's a very expensive thing getting people off drugs, and educate. You have some good programs in schools, but I think a lot of people's aware. I do feel Television for Ireland could be focused or for getting them off it, nationally. But then that all takes money. So it's a major problem, going to be a major problem for the next so many years. I just can't say a few, but I'd simply say within the next 10 years, it's a problem. And with crime increasing and no respect for Garda or reducing respect, no respect, maybe some Garda have no respect for people, but it's a two-way thing. Respect is breaking down with people. People's coming more like uh, unruly animals when they're not everybody, of course, but a lot of people. Christianity can be a good way of stabilizing people. Religion, some kind. So that is it. So I just leave you now and say good night and God bless. Remember, we need more treatment. So if you think about it, what you need in the area, get back to me. I've heard people saying we won't have needle exchange clinics or this type of thing in a built-up area. I walk around towns and I'm amazed because I got to find out the amount of people taking the stuff. Your neighbours could be taking it. So I don't think it's a big worry where you treat these addicts because it can be anywhere. God bless you. Just have a think about it and come back to me. Ideas are all welcome. I'll be honoured. Thank you.